just behind me and down the hill in the valley is Kingsley Park, home of course to Mark Johnston and his record-breaking operation. And despite being around about 300 miles away, Goodwood has been a place where this operation has sent out a huge amount of winners, not least at the Qatar Goodwood Festival itself. They're cresting 80 winners there throughout all time, a dozen times the leading trainer at the meeting. It's a special place for all involved. Just want to read out a couple of the successes at Goodwood over the year. I'm going to say a couple because I can't go through them all, but however many what is now Golden Miles, 5 Goodwood Cups, the King George, Lily Langtry, the Richmond, the Molecombe. When you listen to that sort of that list of races and that CV, do you take stock ever? Do you look back and think about those kind of days, or do you not allow yourself and always look for the future?
Yeah, because if I did, I'd start saying, well, why is the Sussex not on there? Why is the Nassau not on there? These are the important things. There's a lot of races at Goodwood still to win. Of
those that you've won before, which would you like to win again the most? Would it be the Goodwood Cup?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There's nothing quite like it, and it's quite hard to explain, even more so now it's a Group 1. I've not won it as a Group 1. But you go to Royal Ascot. Look at Royal Ascot. The number of top class races and the number of Group 1s, and I still say very easily there's all those Group 1s that I haven't won, and I'd still rather win the Ascot Gold Cup than any of them. And the same applies at Goodwood. I've mentioned the Sussex, mentioned the Nassau. I'd rather win the Goodwood Cup than any of them.
This year, the Goodwood Cup. From what you said to me earlier, are you revved up now to take on Stradivarius again with DXB? Is he in a place where he is absolutely fit and firing for it in a couple of weeks?
Yes, I think so. I think he is. But it's not about we've changed something or he's got better or we feel we can see some weakness in Stradivarius. No, I know it's a mountain to climb, but I know that the only certainty in this game is if we don't run, we don't win.
He didn't lose any of his credibility whatsoever. In fact, in my humble opinion, the effort he put up at Ascot was superb. He lost his unbeaten record this season, but he's bumped into seemingly one of the very top stayers of recent times, hasn't he? In your personal opinion, how do you reflect on Royal Ascot?
Yeah, no, I think we learned more from it. We've learned a lot about the horses. I think he probably is better this year than last year, but we know now, we've run him enough times that we're learning that he is a bit too laid back for his own good. He's a bit slow to get going, a bit slow to respond. If he was running at a lower level, I'm sure we probably would have blinkers on by now. It's something I wouldn't rule out for the future. If we just need to sharpen him up a little bit. But for the moment, we're not suggesting he's not genuine. The way the horse battles back is fantastic. It's just this need to have something to battle with, and it's not always there in these races.
Is he to a degree? Could he almost be isolated in the most part of the race, given that he does his thing on the front end? You said earlier, it would be lovely to give him a pacemaker, but to find a pacemaker of that calibre wouldn't be easy, would it?
No, exactly. And obviously, Coolmore, Godolphin, people, they find pacemakers in the biggest of world races. But it does obviously get much more difficult when you get to cup race level. You're going that much further to find a horse that's good enough. And one of the things I've touched already on, the fact that James Willoughby tells me that 1 year Double Trigger did the fastest final furlong of the Goodwood meeting, including the 5 furlong races. And that's quite remarkable. And you make a big mistake if you ever think that Group 1 Cup horses are not fast. They are very fast when you compare them to horses of lesser calibre. And so you can't just take your particularly for a horse like DXB, where we're all saying he's a bit lazy and a bit laid back, but at Sandown I had 3 in the race, and Austrian School could go with him, but Making Miracles couldn't.
And these are high-class handicappers.
He's a very high-class handicapper. He's a Chester Cup winner, made all in the Chester Cup, albeit in heavy ground conditions. But he's no slouch, but he wasn't up to leading DXB. So it's not easy to find a horse. You don't just find yourself some staying handicapper and think that's going to set the sort of pace that DXB needs.